your girl. I'm back. I've been like gone for like 2 weeks. A lot of people don't know I've been sick. I had issue with my tooth. I broke a tooth. I had issues with my car, my new car. Can you believe that? My new car, I swear to God, this is what happened to me. That it was in the shop because it needed to pass inspection, right? And it didn't pass just because of a small little thing, right? So anyway, so I needed to pass inspection, so I took it and dropped it off. For a good week, they had it. They even fixed stuff that they weren't even supposed to fix, but they fixed it anyway, which was really cool, okay? So I totally got to give Coons, Jeep, and Tyson's, thebomb.com. They're really cool. They hooked up the girl, right? Okay, cool. But a hose burst on me.
After you left the shop?
Yes.
Oh, wow. It's too bad.
Okay, on 210. Do you know what it's like to be stuck in the middle of traffic on 210 in the middle lane?
Is 210 Indian Head?
Yes. It is unbelievably so much traffic. Anyway, that was me. So if you were on 210 a couple of Sundays ago, and I was holding you up, it was because it was me. So anyway, just wanted to let y'all know. So anyway, so your girl's been like, running around doing a whole bunch of stuff. But now I'm back alive in person right here. Still got a lot of stuff going on. But, nonetheless, I'm here. Hey, a lot going on. I cannot wait to get to impeachment and all of that. But we got to wait for a second because I'm going to bring that all in. I know that's big news right now. But I really want to deal with what's going on first in terms of sports, get all the sports stuff out of the way. And I know that you are a sports person, okay? But someone shared some stuff with me about the Redskins, and I want to share them with like a diehard, go back, all the way back, tradition, legacy, I mean the whole 9 yards. You go way back because I know that about you.
RFK way back.
RFK way back. Thank you.
Billy Kilmer way back.
Oh, well, that's
Sonny Jurgensen way back. Bobby Mitchell way back.
Oh, wow. Oh, you go that far back.
Well, I was a little fella.
Y'all get ready to say you old. But anyway, I'm just playing.
Charlie Taylor, Roy Jefferson, Larry Brown.
Pat
Fisher.
Oh, you remember Larry Brown?
I mean, playing.
Oh, okay.
I met the dude.
Okay.
I may have met him, but
you met Larry Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've met Larry Brown. I know you have because even I met
then
Larry
the more
Brown.
modern day Joe Theismann.
John
Riggins.
The Riggo. No.
Daryl Green.
Oh.
Dexter Manley. Daryl Grant.
We missed a little Dexter around the house, huh? Now Jay Gruden gets all this. Jay Gruden.
I'm surprised he woke up with a job yesterday. I mean
this morning.
I was surprised.
Well, I'm surprised him and a few people on the staff got jobs.
Charles Mann.
Oh, yes.
Dave
Was
Butts.
the man. Mm-hmm.
Jacoby.
Yeah.
The Hogs.
Yes.
Rick Doc Walker.
Brian Mitchell.
Gary Clark.
Art Monk.
Clint Didier.
You remember all those
Doug
guys.
Williams.
Oh,
Mark
Doug Williams.
Rippon.
Yes. How can we forget? Who'd you say?
Tony McGee.
Yes, Tony
Tony
McGee.
McGee.
That was a little before me too.
I got you.
Anyway,
All right, I'll stop naming names.
Anyway.
I'll stop.
Anyway, okay. So I got a question for you, okay? Because a friend of mine called me. I was en route here, and they said that the NFL, excuse me, does not like the Redskins. And I said, why you say that? He said, they're pissed off with the Redskins. I said, I don't know about that. Why would you say that? Because they have had nothing but 1 p.m. games. Why does Dallas get all the 4 o'clock games and the 8 p.m. games? So I posed that question to you.
And I forgot, and I should have said also, B. Mitch.
I said it, but anyway,
you did?
go.
I didn't hear you. I
You
apologize.
didn't hear it. I said it. I know.
My bad.
Go ahead.
I think there are a couple of reasons. No, I don't think the NFL hates their skins.
Disappointed with the organization?
I don't know, but I
ruining
think,
the brand.
Let me tell you what the NFL is about.
Important city like DC.
The Shield is about money.
Okay.
And it's about viewership. The Skins, even when they weren't good after their Super Bowl run,
Yes.
used to always get on the national TV games, the 4 o'clocks, the 8 o'clocks, the 8:25s, Monday Night Football.
Okay.
But as they started to get, and I have to call it, it's my team so I can say it, sorry, the viewership and the fan
Dwindled.
base started to dwindle. So why would you put a product on the field for a nationally televised game that not a lot of people are going to watch and the advertisers don't spend as much money? And so, no, I don't think it's that the Shield hates the Skins. I think on the contrary, they want the Skins because it's DC to do well. But when they're not playing well, it's hard to put them on.
Okay,
And then
so let me rephrase that
performance,
question now.
after a performance Monday night and getting embarrassed on national TV, it makes the point why they don't put them on.
But don't you think that they kind of set them up to get embarrassed on Monday Night TV because they knew that team was not going to be competitive? That team is not competitive.
Yeah, but they didn't know that when they set the schedule
Really?
last spring. You didn't know.
But
we were
that
gonna be,
but that
who thought
team
we were
was
gonna
not
be-
that good last year, and they set that schedule up to really diss them. To me, how do you put them on a Monday night and then have them give them nothing but 1 p.m. games? I mean, who else plays 1 p.m.? There's another team. Is it Tennessee Titans or one of them plays? And we never see their games because those games get missed a lot. It's the 4 and the 8 o'clock games that people that have the higher viewership. So,
When you've played in only 2 playoff games in the last 20 years,
oof.
you're not going to get
Nah.
on a lot of nationally televised games. I
that's
want
bad.
my team on.
No, but
I want my team to do better. But your question was, is the NFL mad at the Skins? My answer is no. If they were playing better, you'd see them on more nationally televised games.
But don't you think that they're a little disappointed in the way that the organization has run the brand?
Why do you
I
think the
don't-
brand's not doing well? Do you mean because of the name change, or what do you?
No.
Oh.
I don't.
So what are you talking
I
about?
think from an economics standpoint, because I think that the Washington Redskins are a hot team just by their name and by the location of the city. So it's like, why
It's a
are
top
you?
5 franchise.
It's a top 5 franchise. So why are you not protecting this franchise a little bit better than what you're doing, making smarter decisions? Coaches got to work. This team should be better, not worse than when this coach came aboard. Each year, to me, the team has gotten worse and worse. Why are you not managing this organization better than you are
Good
as an
question.
owner?
Excellent question for Mr. Snyder. Now, you hear a lot of folks say, oh, he should sell the team, get rid of the team. Look, he's not going to sell the team. He's going to keep the team until he's 90-some years old. Owning an NFL franchise is an ATM machine. So economically, he's doing fine with the Skins, especially at $10 a beer out at FedEx. But you're right. Maybe
and $40 to park.
And maybe Bruce Allen is needs to be dealt with and moved out. Maybe the whole upper management team needs to be moved out because you're talking about management. But the ownership is not going to change. So the question is the management going to change?
Right. And it should, because I think
Apparently,
that they're sorry.
2 playoff games in 20 years.
Right. 2 playoff games in 20 years. Wow. It's an incredible stat.
My children
The
have
other
never
thing-
seen the Skins good.
Wow. Mine neither.
Yep.
Well, except with RG3, maybe a little
Not
bit. But
1 year.
1 year.
Till he
Yeah.
till he got
But
it.
how do you have London Fletcher's name spelled incorrectly last night? That just pissed me off.
Capital T tired.
That pissed me.
It should have.
He's contributed to that to that team
Absolutely.
drastically, right? How do you not
How do
have
you
his
get
name?
that- how do you get
how
that
do you
wrong?
get that wrong, right? Then on top of that, to me, you've overpaid drastically for Josh Norman and for
All he does is get smoked.
Landon Collins, right?
Well, Landon played well last night.
But I'm just
Leon
saying
last night.
they're costing the team
Yeah.
a lot of money. The production is down, and then the one person that I think is solid and verifiably great, but probably a waste to be on this team because we're so far back and we suck so bad that we can't even reap the benefits of having an Adrian Peterson because how do we really use him? We're so far back, right? How do we use him I can't figure.
And then the problem is once you get behind on the scoreboard, the running game becomes obsolete and you got to pass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're just so far behind.
I think they've
And I
already
think-
announced that Case Keenum will start again next week.
I actually don't feel, I just feel like Chicago is such a defensively strong team that they just put the rush on them. And we didn't have an answer for it offensively. So, I mean, you know, what's Case Keenum? I mean, he was under fire, and we don't have a strong enough offensive line to do what we need to do. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
especially
think
with Trent on holdout.
this organization is so badly run that the players don't even respond by working hard. Right?
You saw the lack of excitement in the stadium in the first part of the game. The stadium looked packed. People were excited, and then it just falls off a cliff. You throw a pick six to the safety that was here in our uniform last year. Of all the people to throw a pick six to,
he said,
you can't throw it to him. And then he had another pick later in the game.
He sure did. He sure did. Anyway, I don't know. It was just a mess of a game. But anyway, I just want to say, again, I know I did a Facebook Live about it, but I want to say it again. The Nats could clinch the NL wild card spot. That's critical today. They had a double header, and they won the first one, which means that they've knocked out the Phillies. So the Phillies aren't even in contention anymore. Bye-bye, Bryce Harper. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
it's interesting
bye-bye.
how that happened.
Bye-bye, Bryce. So if they win the next game that starts in a little while, maybe 30 minutes or so, 7 o'clock game maybe, I think. If they win and the Cubs lose tonight, then they clinch the NL East wild card, okay? If the Cubs win and they win, then it continues. But I still think the Cubs are like maybe a game and a half behind us or something like that. So today is an important game, important day for not only the Nats. It was an important game for the Redskins. But I also want to talk about the Mystics, because if nobody else is going to give my girls some love, it's going to be me, okay? Because I can't figure out why nobody is giving the Washington Mystics more love. These girls are about to, maybe after tonight's game, go to the WNBA Finals. That should be big news in D.C. Everybody should be talking about it. Yes, we got to talk about the Redskins and their loss and their inadequacies, but we need to also talk about the fact that we have women right here kicking ass, doing what they do, playing basketball at a very elite level, and they can't even get talked about. Hello, I just don't get that. The Washington Mystics.
Good point.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Sports radio, DC. It's pitiful. I've been listening to sports radio off and on all day, looking for news all day. No one is talking about it. The Washington Mystics are in Vegas. They're up 2-1 in a 5-game series. They could win tonight and go to the WNBA Finals. They lost Sunday's game. They were up 2-0. They lost Sunday night's game against the Las Vegas Aces. And let me tell you something. The game, the team they're playing against has a center that's 6'8", from Australia. Her name is Liz Cambridge, and she did a job on the Mystics and exposed them for some ineffectiveness under the basket, in the paint. She just was making easy layups the whole game. So I hope that they fix their holes. I hope that they are shooting. Emma Mieseman, you contributed 6 points when in the first 2 games you gave 57. 57 points you contributed. You had a career high of 30 points in game 2, I think. And you gave the Mystics 6 points. Y'all can't ever come out like that the rest of this series. If it goes on, if it becomes 2-2, and if it does come 2-2, then they bring it back home here to D.C. at Sports Arena in Southeast D.C., and everybody and their mother needs to show up and support these girls. Everybody. That's ridiculous that we're not talking about them. They could very well bring a championship back to our nation's capital, short of what the Capitals did a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And we ain't even talking about them. and rallying them on. They had a bad night. They've won 8 out of their last nine games, okay? They're in the playoffs. They're the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed. And nobody's talking about them. That's pitiful. That's what I want to just discuss real quick. That's why I had to hold off Michael, because I had to get my point out. Because I'm a woman, I have a female athlete, as in my daughter, in my household, and my son plays sports as well. But I just don't like the fact that female athletes don't get their due. It's not fair. Unless they become like Lisa Leslie or something. And Elena Deladon is the MVP of the league. She's on our team. She has been MVP, I think, 4 out of 5 years or something like that. I don't know how many times. I think she's gone to the playoffs almost every year that she's been in the league, like 7 years, I think. And she's gone. She's been MVP. I mean, the Mystics shot 38% from the floor. That's not good enough, Mystics, obviously, the other day. But anyway, we're not here to discuss them, so I'm not going to take up too much time with talking about where they fell apart. If you guys want to see more of what I had to say, I didn't get into DC Sports Radio because I just knew that today we would be talking a little bit more about the Mystics, and I was hugely disappointed when I tuned in and I hardly heard anything about them, and all I heard talk was about how bad the Redskins and how much they suck. And we got a team that's kicking ass, and we can't even get fair airplay. Fair airplay, not even considerable airplay. I'm talking about fair airplay for the Washington Mystics. It's like women are not non-existent in sports in this city, and it's pitiful. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Good editorializing.
Sorry.
But I agree with everything you said. You were exactly right.
I had to do that.
You're exactly right.
I had to do that because I was really pissed. And I know you listen to sports radio. Did you hear anything about the
No,
Washington
they talked
Mystics
about
today?
you, like you said. They talked about how sorry the Skins were. They didn't mention anything about the Mystics.
Nothing.
Well, at least when I was listening. I'm not saying they never did, but when I was listening, I didn't hear it.
I heard a blurb. Oh, the girls. Yeah, the girls. They play tonight. We'll see if they can come back. Anyway, back to the Redskins. That's about as much as I heard. So, anyway.
Okay.
All right, let's get on. Let's move on. All right, lot going on. Race to 2020. I have Michael here. Michael has his own show. He got his own stuff going on. We all know that.
Thanks for the support.
We'll talk about his show. Whatever. But anyway, I'm not hating. I'm actually happy, though.
It's all because of you. I got my start on
I know.
Listen Vision TV because of you.
ListenVision.com. I know. ListenVisionLive.com. But you know what, though? We really got to give Renee Starling some shout out to, because she's the one who brought me here, and then I brought you here. So, the tree
of life.
The tree of life. So it goes on, and so we want to give Star her claim to fame as well. She's been a great motivating force for a lot of people to get their shows. So shout out to her. Anyway, so Michael, we're gonna get to your show in a minute, but I want you to talk about what is going on. Do we really our House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, is she finally ready to lay the gauntlet and say, impeach that
clown?
No, it go like this. It go like that. Who said you can't hum it?
That's true.
You can hum stuff.
I'm glad you like your own joke. You're enjoying it.
No, I gotta admit that joke was good. Wasn't that joke good? See?
Yes,
yeah, that joke
PJ
was good.
liked it.
Okay,
PJ liked it.
that's fine. Cool. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So Michael, let's talk impeachment. All right, what's taking them so damn long?
As we've talked about previously on your show,
Yes.
that Speaker Pelosi, and let me be very clear, I am a devout soldier of Speaker Pelosi.
Okay.
And will
like her.
Oh, that's just like her and her family.
Oh, really?
She's known me since I was a little fella.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. So she knew your dad well.
yes, she did, and I have the utmost respect for her.
Okay.
I never quite agreed with her strategy on holding back until more facts came out, until more investigations. But she's the speaker because she knows politics like really no one else. And today, she stepped to the plate and put all her chips on the table and said, with the American flag behind her, and said, this person, I don't like saying his name, violated his constitutional right, which is an impeachable offense. Stepped up. Now there'll be official investigations relative to impeachment. And here's how the process will play out. Because I think some people may think when the person gets impeached that that's it and they're taken out of the White House.
Right. Handcuffed and taken out.
Doesn't quite work like that. And I'll first give some history. Bill Clinton was impeached.
Yep.
But he did not have a re-election in front of him.
Right.
So you go to the United States Senate. So here's how it works. Goes to the House of Representatives first for what's called the investigation process.
Okay.
If the investigation process, then there's a vote. A vote for impeachment.
Okay.
Means then it goes to the Senate for trial.
Right. Okay, for trial.
For trial. So the person's still impeached. Goes now, since obviously the House is controlled by Democrats, the Senate is controlled by Republicans.
Right.
It's highly unlikely that they're going to get 2/3 in the Senate to remove him. So he will not get removed, but he will still be impeached. The title stays with you. It's still on with your legacy. You're still impeached. So after the impeachment process, now who knows? Maybe some of these Republican GOP senators will get a backbone, and when they see the evidence, they'll say, you know what? Maybe it's time for Mike Pence. But I think that's highly doubtful.
Okay, so will it say Donald Trump and then have, how it has like almost your presidency date, almost like your birth date, and then at the end, then it has a hyphen, and then it'll say impeached?
Just like it does with Bill Clinton.
It doesn't say.
Oh no, Bill
I never
Clinton
really
was.
looked. It says impeached.
Oh, what's part of his legacy? He was impeached. Just because you get off in trial in the Senate, it doesn't take the impeachment away.
Okay.
You're still impeached.
Okay.
But you did not get removed from office. You weren't found guilty of the charges.
So
folks, here's what 45 will do. So after the Senate acquits him, he will come out in the Rose Garden and say, I won. I told you I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm great, and I'm the best president ever, and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of all that speaking, he was still impeached. That word does not leave. Like it's part of Bill Clinton's legacy. No one likes it because of what he was impeached for.
But no one even considers him impeached, though.
Because of what? Because of the charge. Because of the whole issue with, that person and what happened.
But the charge was that he lied.
He lied.
The charge wasn't
correct.
The actual offense.
Right.
The charge was that he lied.
Different from what 45 is about to go through, which is
Right.
violating his constitutional duty.
As a
totally
president.
different.
Right.
Completely
So Bill
different.
Clinton did not violate his duty
No,
as president.
he did lie, but I think a lot of people probably lie about that particular issue.
You say a lot of people would lie.
Have lied.
Oh, have lied. Really?
That's my guess.
That's your guess. Oh, okay.
That's why a lot of
you
people.
might be right.
That's why a lot of people I think have a problem with what happened with Clinton. It was so political they couldn't get him on anything else, Whitewater, any of those other alleged scandals. So they got him on that. Which again, there's no question he lied. But is that something you should impeach a president for? Who knows? This, however, is different. This is intelligence related. It has to do with security of the American people. It has to do with quid pro quo. It has to do with a lot of things related to violating the constitutional duties of a president.
Okay. Now, so my other question is this. Can you break down exactly what was going on with the Ukrainian president and why is all of a sudden this particular situation...
The straw that broke the camel's back.
The straw that broke... Right.
Well, first, everything is going to be from what's been reported because no official documents have come back from the whistleblower or the transcript of the call.
Okay, but it was a meeting that took place.
Phone call.
It was a phone call that took place between
Alleged, because again, this is all reporting.
This is all reporting
Yes,
from the whistleblower.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's all reporting, so I don't know if anything's been confirmed till the official documents are seen.
And we don't know who the whistleblower is.
Correct.
Okay. So the whistleblower remains anonymous until when?
Well, he happens to be he.
Okay.
He wants to appear before the House Intelligence Committee.
Oh, he does. When would that
happen? The question
happen?
is whether the administration will let him do that.
Oh.
They're going to try to block him.
They're going to try to block him on that.
Well, they've already blocked his report. Remember, here's how you wanted me to break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
So here's how it works. President of the United States is on a phone call with a foreign leader. Happens all the time. I don't care if it's Obama, Bush, Reagan, Clinton, or 45.
He was Ukrainian.
Right. But
okay.
all
Ukrainian
phone
president.
Yes.
Okay.
All phone calls are listened to by the Intelligence Committee.
Okay.
They want to make, not the Intelligence Committee, intelligence staffers.
Okay.
Just to make sure that, to hear what he's saying, making sure the president has a witness, so that particular foreign leader doesn't come out at a press conference and says, 45 said the sky is green.
Or
no,
that 45 tried to bribe me.
Whatever. I was just using something simple. But yes. So in a normal fact check of the phone call transcript, this particular person noticed that there were some promises made that sounded odd.
Okay.
But didn't do anything about it. Then there was a subsequent call at the end of July.
Okay.
Where now you got to put all the pieces together. The Ukraine was scheduled to get a bunch of military resources.
Okay.
Obviously to fight Russia.
To fight Russia. Okay.
Out on the Ukrainian border near Crimea and all that kind of
right.
stuff. The 45's administration held up that money.
Right. And that was about
odd.
That was about what, like $250 million or something like that. Okay.
A lot of money.
Okay. So a lot of money. We're talking about a lot of money.
So you couple that with, can you please check out my potential opponent and his son and what they were doing in the Ukraine? And supposedly he said it 8 times. If you do that, I'll release the money.
But until then,
I'm holding it.
I'm holding it.
Now that is this absolute quid pro quo, crazy, using your power, and it's a campaign finance violation. It's you're asking a foreign entity government to interfere in our elections. It doesn't get any worse than that. Some people think it's treason. Now, clearly, no, he's not going to get charged with treason. So that's where the straw that broke the camel's back was after this. Speaker Pelosi said, enough is enough.
Okay, let's go back, though.
Because remember, you can't impeach him for being a clown and a racist.
Right.
That's not violating his constitutional duty.
Right. We get that piece.
But you can impeach him for obstruction of justice and violating his constitutional right.
Okay. Now.
Duties.
But if you have a witness, okay, and you are there talking and asking for something that's totally out of left field, like, what the is this president smoking today, right? We got to go over there and deal with this right now as part of his staff. Why didn't somebody shut the phone call down or immediately say, hold on, Mr. President, put that phone on mute and say, you cannot, under any and I'm not looking out for Trump. I'm just saying, what's the sense of having staffers around who don't put boundaries where they're supposed to, especially when you're not a government employee and you don't know policy and procedure, because he doesn't know policy.
No, he does. And I would bet, and again, of course, I wasn't there, but I would bet, here's what happened. Most presidents will have, I don't care, Republican, Democrat, but they have obviously systems and norms in place. Okay, I'm going to call the president of the Ukraine at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be in the secured room. I'll come down from the residence. I'll do it on a Saturday morning. It's scheduled and tight with staff.
Okay.
This guy doesn't do that. This guy says, I feel like calling him. Plus, he thinks he's always being slick. Because he knows if he has staff there, they'll do exactly what you just said they would do.
Right.
But he didn't want to do that because he wants them to get information on Biden. I'm not releasing your money.
Well, he wants to ask, and he wants to put people in his pocket.
Yeah, and he thinks, remember what he said? What he said, I think, on a couple of occasions. Under Article 1, I can do whatever I want. That's just simply not true. So in his mind, I can call him, I can hold up his money, I can do whatever I want. So the next step is supposed to be when that staffer saw that, it's called a whistleblower, and they're protected under the whistleblower statute, that I have a document, and you go to the head of the intelligence agency and say, hey, you go to the inspector general,
right.
Hey, this has just happened. It goes to the head of the intelligence department. Mm-hmm. Then it's supposed to directly go to the House of Representatives.
Okay.
Not delay, not, well, let me go to the Justice Department first. It's supposed to go directly to the House. They have held it back. More obstruction of justice.
Oh, my God. But who really would have held it back? The Republicans?
Yes.
The Republicans?
In particular, since they ran all over to the Justice Department, Attorney General Barr.
Oh, okay, the Attorney General. Okay.
Who is, 45's boy.
Embedded. Okay.
Now, who knows what will happen in the next few days, whether they're going to release the transcript, which to me isn't really a big deal. So what? Mm-hmm. What you need is the objective report from the whistleblower. Because something made him say, red flag.
Red flag.
Because he hears millions of, not millions, he hears a lot of conversations.
Right.
And he doesn't put up a red flag unless it's serious.
Right.
Obviously,
right.
Red flag, serious.
Right.
It's a problem.
But, okay, so, excuse me, I've been sick too. Anyway, the whistleblower, would he be an employee of the federal government or
yes.
the Ukrainian?
Oh no, he's a whistleblower here.
He's a whistleblower here.
He's on the intelligence staff here.
Okay. Would Trump have known that he would have been on that phone call?
He knows that his phone calls are either being transcribed or listened to. Yes, he would know that.
But he doesn't know who is listening to
Oh, no, he doesn't know which it could be.
On his staff.
Right, because remember, like
this guy is not on, the whistleblower is not on Trump's staff. He is
part of the intel community. He's part of the intel community. And you never know what shift you're going to get. It could have been Susie one day, Lisa, Steve. You never know who's going to be on the particular call.
Oh, I see.
So there's no way to know who was going to be.
So in defense of 45, I'm just saying, in defense of 45, just to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
What if he's saying, oh, he's lying? That's not what happened.
Well, that's the beauty of why these phone calls are recorded and transcribed.
Okay, so this guy can come not only with his testimony, but he can back it up. So most times...
I was going to say, here's the transcript. Here's what he said 8 times about Biden and his son.
Oh, my God. Why would you say that? I mean,
unless you think you can get away with anything because you think you're some kind of monarch. This is a republic. I
mean, this is outrageous to me. That's why this could not have been on a better day that you were coming today. I was like, oh, my God.
But I'm telling you, for Speaker Pelosi to finally say enough is enough, you know how serious this is.
This is very serious. I know, because
you're putting people's lives at risk.
Yeah, and she wasn't down for this.
No.
She has been avoiding the whole impeachment conversation because she really did not want to impeach him. She really doesn't.
Well, she didn't like the politics of it.
She didn't like the
politics. But now it's too much. It's too much. And even this morning, the Washington Post editorial let them do an op-ed of 7 moderate freshman Democrats on the House side that won in Trump districts. Those are why the House flipped. They beat Republicans, and they call them Trump districts because those are the ones Trump won in 2016. Mm-hmm. For those 7 to come out who were totally against impeachment because they don't want their seat, this is a dangerous position.
Right.
But they knew deep down to do the right thing, it's time.
Wow.
So for them to put their seats on the line, because there are a lot of Trump lovers that aren't. Sorry, can't believe I did it. 45 lovers in these districts they're putting their seat on the line, but they knew what was right. What's the point? You can't argue, oh, we want to make sure this is the greatest country in the world, but you see the president doing stuff that's not right, and you say, oh, it's not good for our politics. No. And today was the final straw.
Today was the final straw. So, okay. So let's proceed to tomorrow and the next week. What are we looking at then?
Well, now you'll see investigations from 6 different committees. All the relevant committees for impeachment.
Okay, 6 different committees.
There's 6 different committees.
How many of those committees are?
Well, let me tell you who the lead is. The 2 lead committees.
Bipartisan, partisan.
They're all bipartisan.
They're all bipartisan.
But they're all controlled by Democrats.
By Democrats.
Yes.
Okay.
So Elijah Cummings of Government Oversight.
Oh, Elijah Cummings.
Congressman Nadler of the Judiciary Committee, and Schiff of Intelligence. Maxine Waters, Financial.
Oh.
There are a lot, Ways and Means. So there are a lot of these are some of the strongest committees in the House. And they will then take control. And then at the end of the process, if they want to bring actual charges for the Senate to have a trial on, the Judiciary Committee, and I happened to be on, when I was in law school, on the Judiciary Committee on the staff of Congressman Rodino of New Jersey, who was the chairman of the Judiciary Committee during the Nixon period, when Nixon was impeached.
Okay.
And so I learned a lot from him about how that process worked. Okay. And so over the next few weeks, you'll see. Now, here's what you'll see. Whole host of investigations, document requests. I need witnesses
over the
to come
course
in.
of how? Give us like a timeline. Over the course of how long?
Probably certainly before the end of the year. But they're going to try to do this as quickly as possible.
Oh,
because they're not going to want to do it.
For the end of the year.
I think that would probably be the goal. Difficult, because you're going to have an administration. 45 is not going to just roll over and just give all his information. He doesn't give up documents during normal time. So it's just going to be an ugly, ugly mess. He's going to call it a witch hunt. He's going to try to run out the clock. He's going to try to go to court. He's going to do a host of things. At the end of the day, after today, he will be impeached. I just don't think he'll be removed from office unless some of this evidence is so outrageous that some Republicans say, you know what? We've loved you. We've supported you. We've had your back. We've twisted ourselves into pretzels protecting you.
Right.
Can't do it anymore. But I still think doubtful.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I've been dealing with a serious cold. Okay. So my question to you is this, though.
You want to take a break for a sec?
No. I'm fine. So my question is this, though. If people listen to the tapes and he in fact is saying that he is going to hold up aid to Ukraine, right? And he's asking for Ukraine to why Ukraine?
Well, let me tell you first.
Why Ukraine?
I'll get to that in a second. But he's already acknowledged both of those things. One thing about 45, he knows how to try to figure out how to spin.
Okay.
And spin before something bad comes out. He already said, "That's right. I talked to him because I want to know. I want you to fix corruption in your country, and if the Bidens were a part of it, I need to know." That's his spin. And I'm holding up that money, not because of that. There was no quid pro quo. I'm holding up that money because the other people in the European Union, in South America, they're not doing their part to help the Ukrainians. Why should we be the only ones? Oh, but then I released it. He's going to spin any way he can. He puts it out first, but it's too late.
Why would Ukraine be?
Well, Ukraine's important because it's where Ukraine is, and that's why 45 has always hit the Obama administration for not doing anything when Russia went into the Ukraine, into part of the Ukraine. Okay. Because what Russia's trying to do is move their territory further west.
Okay.
And that's not good. The European Union certainly doesn't want Russia to continue to come in that direction.
Right, that's too much control.
So by coming into the Ukraine, that's where it starts. So you put resources there so the Ukrainians can defend themselves against the Russian movement.
Right.
And so when 45 hits the Obama administration, and it did happen under Obama's watch, no question about that.
Okay.
45 hasn't done anything about it. He's done just as much as Obama has. So, whatever to that political argument.
Okay, but my question, my follow-up question to that is, why is he asking him to investigate the Bidens? Because what is the relationship with the Bidens and Ukraine?
Well, because he knows that one of 45's Achilles' heels is his own children doing business deals while he's president. Well, he found out that Hunter Biden was on a board of a company in the Ukraine, making a lot of money while Vice President Biden was in office. So what he's trying to do is do a false equivalency that, you see, my kids can do it, but shoot, so were Biden's. To try to take that issue off the table. However, they're not quite, you can't quite conflate the two issues. One is, yes, is Ivanka going out getting Chinese licenses as we speak? Yes. Is Donald Jr. trying to do things and using the father's name? Clearly, yes. That's part of why they want you to recuse yourself from everything, which they didn't do. What Vice President Biden's son did, which was totally fine, he sat on the board, made a lot of money on the board, but it was a corporate board nonetheless. And there was why was he doing that? But there's no evidence of any kind there was any wrongdoing by sitting on the Ukrainian board. Nothing. Nothing wrong with it.
But what is the rule for children when their parents
are I think what you will see, and not because of the Biden situation, but I think because of the Trump situation, is tightening up some of those ethic laws. About like, for example, I bet what you'll see is some kind of nepotism clauses that you can't work in the White House. If you're a child. You have to give up all your business relationships and business ties. And then when you're done, you come back. Put everything in a trust for now. But that's not how he wanted to roll. 45 said, nah, I'm good. And I'm going to direct my people to stay at my hotels around the world, which is crazy.
I know.
Crazy. And then he charges all kinds of money because he knows the government is going to pay for it. And he's just making money. It's crazy.
I know.
So he's been sued on that. The emoluments clause prevents that from happening, but he just did it anyway. That's why some people say he's just a lawless president. He doesn't care about laws, norms, procedures, rules. I'm just going to do it anyway.
Right. Well, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get away with it anyway.
Because no one's done anything so far until today.
You're right. Well, yeah. Well, we'll see what they do. But he has pretty much done that because he doesn't have to. He's had his children be. He was trying to keep his son-in-law way too close, right? Wasn't his son-in-law like chief of his transition committee?
He had a whole lot of stuff on his portfolio.
The stuff that guy was doing. But he's pretty quiet now. Where did he go, by the way?
Oh, no, he's still in the White House. And Kushner.
Jared Kushner.
And they've just taken a lower profile.
Okay.
I'm sure he's still doing his job, but you know what? It was just time for them to take a step back. Somebody recommended it, whether they did it themselves. We know 45 didn't do it. Who knows? Somebody said, you all need to take a step back. They're all putting themselves in jeopardy, and I don't know why they're doing it. They're doing it because, they think they can get away with it.
And what does Ivanka do again?
She runs a lot of the women's initiatives, children's initiatives. She does a lot of foreign policy stuff.
And that's legal?
Well, it's probably legal, but now because of them, they have violated so many things, they're going to have to tighten up the law. It won't be legal again.
But what is the rule? When you have a name like a Trump, you're a business icon in the business world, and you have hotels all over the world. What are you, technically, what can you do?
Well, it's what Jimmy Carter did. He's not the first businessman to ever be president. Jimmy Carter had an expansive peanut farm and peanut operation, making millions of dollars. And when he became president, he said, you know what? I got to step aside. I just have to put it in blind trust and can't deal with anything.
Okay, so that's
no decisions,
what the rule is.
Yes.
You have to put stuff in a blind trust, which means that you can't.
Or you can sell it. You don't have to.
And make money
while you're
in office.
The company can, but you can't have anything to say. You can't take any resources for nothing. Not them. They're
But really, where does the government control that? You're not making money.
They have to, because you don't want any kinds of conflicts of interest, which 45 is riddled with them all over the place.
Yeah.
Whether it's Saudi Arabia, Russia, and now we're seeing that. Here's what I bet. I bet you will see hotel development from 45 when he's done in Saudi Arabia and Moscow.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
with
nowhere else is going to want them.
No, no one else is going to want them. Oh, yeah. But Saudi Arabia, I definitely see that, especially with the way that they treated that journalist from the Washington Post, Khashoggi, right? And the way that they...
by killing him and chopping him up.
By killing him, chopping him up. And Turkey came out, and Turkey was like, look, we got the video. And they were like, no, put that video down. So, okay. So let's talk about you real quick. We have a few more minutes. I know. You gave me my cue. I saw that. So let's talk about your show. What's going on with your show, and when is it, and all of that stuff? Because, we got to give you some love, too.
It's very kind. We're on Monday nights, 6 to 7.
Oh, Monday nights from 6 to 7. Okay, so you just did your show yesterday.
Yes, I did more of a biographical sketch yesterday, and because I think it's important. There's the logo right there. Thank you very much, PJ.
Oh, good. You mean you ain't got your picture?
Well,
I can't believe what? You don't have a picture?
I have very low self-esteem. So,
Michael, who knew? You're a logo without Michael's picture.
Feel free to go on Twitter.
You're growing up.
Feel free to go on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you'll see my picture there. But if you really need to see the picture, you'll see it. And we talked a little bit about just kind of who I am, where I'm from, so people understand my perspective when I'm giving.
Who's on your show?
No, yesterday was just all biographical.
Oh, okay.
But at the end of each show, each week, and I'll tell you what we're doing next week, we have the Mr. Potato Head Award.
Oh.
And we have an actual potato head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Now, every week.
If you ain't 40 years old, you don't know Mr. Potato Head.
And that's what I said yesterday, because I was worried about PJ not knowing who it was.
Man, PJ wouldn't know Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, good.
Toy Story. PJ and Alana ain't going to know. Oh, maybe from Toy. Okay. That's the one you talk. I'm talking about Mr. Potato Head from.
I bought the real one, and I put the little things on.
Okay.
So anyway,
I was about to say.
So anyway, there's a knucklehead. We'll get that award every week. And you can give it to 45 every week. So I just made him the honorary 45's the honorary Potato Head Award. But yesterday, we gave the award to Mr. Antonio Dumbass Brown.
Oh no. You got to come on the show because we got to talk about that.
And then next week, we'll have another knucklehead. So if you see something happening in a store, on the highway, at school,
I have certain
anywhere,
feelings
I need some
Brown.
I need some anybody that walks away from $30-40 million is a dum-dum.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that I hope he gets his due, though. I don't believe in not having due process.
Hey, he's just Mr. Potato Head for this week.
Right, but I agree with that. But he deserves his due process. He deserves his opportunity to hear.
No.
I'm talking about relative to the Patriots. I'm not talking about walking away from $34 million because that's dumb. And he thought that his money was going to come elsewhere. But I do feel
he
that
was
the
dumb
Patriots,
by texting the person when the lawyer said don't.
When the lawyer, right? I
okay,
get that.
that's why you got the award.
But I don't get why the Patriots cut him so quickly without giving him some level of opportunity.
I think they made a decision that
especially
your lawyer,
when
remember they're doing
the owner
actually, but
has his own issue.
But you know what? You know the difference.
Brothel?
You know what?
Do we know whether those girls are underage or not?
No, but and maybe that'll be investigated. But you know what the difference is?
I hope so.
One's a player, one's an owner. When you're an owner, it's a little different.
That's my argument.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
argument.
saying. That's my argument.
But that's not why he got the Mr. Potato Head Award. He got the Mr. Potato Head Award because during the investigation, he got cleared. Statute of limitations ran. He wasn't going to get charged. His lawyer specifically said to him, do not contact the lady.
Which one are you talking about?
Second. Two.
The second one.
And he did it anyway.
He sent her a text.
Why?
What
Unless
did he
you're
say in
unless
that text? I thought
basically he's saying we have to. It's too long for that. But he shouldn't have. But it didn't matter what he said. So not to text at all, not to contact. You get a Potato Head Award for that because you blew $30 million. Anyway, okay, next.
I understand.
Next week.
But we don't know the taunting that might have taken place that was non-texting.
But
we
you
don't know.
But you have
we
more
don't
to
know
lose.
all the
But
circumstances,
he has more to lose.
though.
He has more to lose.
I get that piece
You
of it,
can't-
and I'm not Antonio Brown.
No.
Stand up. Go help him, whatever. I just feel like everybody should have their due process.
Agreed. I agree.
And I feel like he needs to have his too. We haven't heard all the facts. That's all.
All right, so
that's
real
all
quick,
I'm saying.
I agree. So next week.
Go ahead.
All right, but
next week.
he never should have texted her. That's why he got
He
the
should
dumb
not have texted
Potato Head Award. Next week. One of the things we're going to do is we get into 2020.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of discussion about electoral college, red and blue states. So next week we're going to do a little political 101.
Okay.
And explain the electoral college process.
Okay.
Explain what red state and blue state means. So people have an understanding when they hear this stuff on the news, what's a red state, blue state, electoral college. Hillary got more votes last time. Why wasn't she president? So we're going to do a little political 101 next week.
Oh, good.
So then as we get rolling in 2020, people say, I know what that means.
Yeah.
Because the Michael Brown
people
show
are
taught
more-
me.
Right. And the hustle talk.
Well, the hustle helped me get my show.
The hustle.
No, help me
The
get my
hustle-
show. It's more than taught me.
The
Help me get my
hustle
show.
was helping
I
to
give credit
inform
where
people.
credit is due.
But anyway, okay, whatever.
Like a good old public official that I am.
Anyway. Oh, and by the way,
Oh,
are you willing to tell us anything yet?
No.
Oh,
Still,
all right.
we're still contemplating, thinking.
We're still
talking
What's
to
up with
different
the
people.
book?
Books 2020.
Oh, the book is you are working on a book then.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
gonna be
pretty much
2020.
done. Yes.
Okay. Oh, cool. Really?
Oh, come on here
Are
and
you
talk
going to go
about
on a book tour?
Book tour in 2020.
No way. Are you going to come here on your book tour?
That's why I put my book right here.
Oh, okay.
Boop.
All right.
As
Just
my
making
son would
sure.
say. Boop.
How are they doing, by the way?
They're doing great.
He's
Very
a
proud of
twin
them.
parent. I'm a twin parent. So we got, twindom going on. Really? So he's good. They're good.
They're good. And I know your kids are good because you can watch them get highlights on ESPN.
Oh, whatever.
Or the
By the way,
tennis
I
channel.
just want to shout out. My son's doing good at Morehouse. He's back. He's playing tennis. And my daughter's at NC State playing tennis. And guess what? She is number 1
Atta
in
girl.
college tennis.
Get 'em, La.
Yes, in
Get 'em,
doubles.
La.
In doubles. So, anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Hey, we're doing golf next week. Golf. Okay? We got Craig Kirby coming on next
Craig,
week.
my boy Craig.
Craig, yes, will be here with Tara. She owns
My golf, my game.
Yes, my golf, my game. And Tara will be here as well with him. She is a fabulous entrepreneur in DC. She owns a golf simulation center just down the street. And they have an incredible kickoff to a special thing that they're doing for kids. And they're going to be here to explain it all. Some really good stuff coming on. So they'll be here next week. And then we're going to get into health and wellness for a few weeks. And then Michael will be back at the end of October, right around my birthday. It'll be like Halloween, too. You got to come in costume.
I'm always watching.
It'll be my birthday. I'll be 26. 26 feels so good.
26 plus.
26. Be quiet. Anyway, that's the hustle with
But
your girl.
you look
Ali.
25, though. You look 25.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's right.
it.
Had your daughter
Anyway.
when you were 5.
Not quite, but anyway. Thanks for the compliment. I get it. Anyway, the hustle. I'll see you guys next week. Later.